Hi guys, it's Mark here from languagelearning.org. In this little video I wanted to talk to you about the Linguaphone courses, my little take on them, a quick review, and my advice when using them. Linguaphone courses are very popular with language learners, very popular with polyglots. A lot of them started with Linguaphone courses. For a long time Linguaphone was pretty much the only force to be reckoned with language learning materials. I remember the adverts in the 90s and late 80s, and I wanted to learn German when I was only a kid, and the Linguaphone adverts, I remember them quite clearly because I wanted to buy them. Obviously being a kid I couldn't afford to get one. And so maybe that's where it all started, because I started fanatically collecting Linguaphone courses. I have quite a few. It is just a very few of the different ones through the ages I wanted to show you. Linguaphone was started in about the 1920s, I think, from a French language teacher, from what I can remember. He used the latest methods at the time, which was phonograph records back then. This is one of the earlier ones. This is Linguaphone Conversational Russian. I suppose back in the day, if you were learning Russian with phonograph records, this would have been very good. It's not a method that I would use now, using this one. Although I do have it for collection purposes. As you can see, that obviously this is pre-owned and someone's made the little markings in there. But you know, they moved on from there. I did have a Polish one in this, but I went missing. That I had 2 books went missing for it, so that was unfortunate. Linguaphone courses, this is the course book. They come with a additional book or 2. One book, the extra book, is about, I think it's explains the language, and the other one is basically a word for word translation. So that's the very early Russian ones. In about the 50s and 60s they came and released these ones, which are the favourites among Linguaphone collectors, certainly my favourites. This is from the 50s and 60s. It's a German course. Even the quality of the paper is really good. The wording is clear, the explanations are very good. It starts off pretty much the same with every course. It's a teacher talking to a student, asking them questions like where's the table, where's the cat, who's the student, are you a teacher, are you German, that kind of thing. And it follows the same structure, almost identical illustrations in each one. There's the German one. I've got a French one somewhere, if I can just find it. Here it is. It's the French from the same era. This one, again, obviously being pre-owned by somebody else. I bought it off eBay, I think. It follows the same structure. See, illustration is slightly different, but obviously the same artist. Look at the state of this. Very good place to start. The 50s and 60s courses are still available on eBay. If you wanted to own the physical books. Of course, they're also available on my website in PDF and MP3 format, because these courses came in records, about 45 lessons. Obviously not everybody has the technology or the know-how how to convert them into MP3, so that's what I did, and so I started sharing that with people who wanted to learn using this method. So obviously when I've scanned the entire books, I've cleaned up the pages, the ones that looked a bit more tatty, and converted the records into MP3 so you can learn it on the go. I put them on my Kindle, or you can put it on your iPad if you want, or you can learn it on your PC. They're available to buy on my website for about $19.99 at the moment. Languagelearning.org, have a look if you want to get one. This is the German course from the 1970s, I think. Yes, 70s. These are also my favourites, actually. Linguaphone went another step forward. They rehashed the entire series. They changed the lessons, changed the wording, changed the illustrations. This is actually my favourite course that they did. I don't know why, but I like the illustrations. I really do. You start off with a family coming back from whatever country they've been in, and they return into their native land, and they're getting to meet the family and going to a hotel, going to a restaurant. It starts off like that, and then obviously as you progress you're saying things more advanced, in more advanced situations. You're either in the theatre. It's a lot more. So you can imagine if you're completely new to the language and you take a look at the last few pages, which is what I always tend to do, it gets you excited to see what kind of things you will be learning, because if you stick with Linguaphone, don't rush it, take your time, only move on when you understand what you're doing, okay? And you will learn the language. It's a very, very good course. And that's the German for the 1970s. Then they rehashed them again in, I think, the mid to late 80s and 90s into these grey ones. This is a Swedish course. The only gripe I have with Linguaphone is they use different artists for each course, and quite a few of them I don't like the artwork. This isn't even the course book, this is the explanation book. One second. I don't like the artwork in some of them. The Polish one of the Polish course was awful. I didn't like that at all. So this is a Swedish one. From the mid to late 80s and early 90s. As you can see, the artwork is completely different. Same kind of storyline. Family visiting from another country, going back to their native Sweden, and they find themselves into all kinds of situations. Again, very, very good course. One of my favourites. Actually, Swedish is one of my favourite languages to learn after German. Linguaphone, I've released them again in another packaging. I don't own any of them ones because I tend to go for these designs and earlier. You can buy them still from the Linguaphone website if you want to, which I'd advise you to do if that's what you want to do. Or if you want to buy a PDF version, you can get them on my website again. The modern courses. They vary in price depending on how many books there are. So what I've done, obviously, I mean, I've backed up the courses and transferred the cassette tapes into MP3 because some of them came on cassette tapes. I have quite a few on my website because I'm an avid collector, as I say. Linguaphone courses come with at least 3 books. You get the course book itself, you get the explanation book, and you get the handbook, because they need to explain the wording and all the idiosyncrasies that they have in the language, and some things just explain the wording a little better. That's how it comes. It's unfortunate, really, because I really would like them to just put it into one book. One big thick book would have been better, where each lesson, and then at the ending of it, there's words translated, and then there's... It's a shame, really, because I would have liked it to be one big thick book. It would have been easier to carry around. You could have had it with the lesson, and then the words translated at the end, and then the language explained. I think that would have been a better way to do it, but Linguaphone chose to do it this way, which is fine, if that's up to them. It can be bulky to carry these things around, though, because when I was doing the German course, I was learning on the commute to work, and about carrying 3 books along with you all day could be quite tiresome. You get a bit fed up doing that. Which is partly why I transferred it to PDF, so I can learn on the go on my Kindle. Okay, so have a look at my website if you want to, languagelearning.org. They are available there. You can get the actual books on the Linguaphone website if you want to. The older ones you can get on eBay, and they sell quite regularly. The French and German ones are very popular on eBay. They sell for like £5, so have a look on there. I'm in the process of acquiring the Italian one, and I'm still looking for the Spanish one, the 60s courses I mean. I've got the 60s Italian on its way to me, and the 60s Spanish I'm still looking out for, because they're very rare at the moment, and people who do have them don't want to sell them for anything less than £60, which is another thing. So have a look, try Linguaphone, give it a go, let me know your thoughts. You can email me website, languagelearning.org. Thanks guys.